I can say it for you if you want me to say it for you.
So we've got a few things to go over today, everyone. We're going to be going over a pitch document, then the GDD, proof of concept with art, then there's actually the proof of concept game, as well as a level design document. So, we'll start with Mitch.
Yeah. So we've defined our project aims and objectives. So what we aim to do is to set out to create a game that will unify us as a studio and set us up for future endeavours. It will be a top-down action-adventure game with turn-based combat. The Legend of Zelda and Final Fantasy are the main inspirations for this project, but obviously we'll draw from as many as we can. As such, we will be targeting males in their 30s who played the original games as kids. We will track these players through multiple social media efforts, Twitch, all the social medias. Once we have built an audience and have a fun game, we aim to release on itch.io, Android, and eventually Steam. And this project will establish us as an innovative studio that brings new ideas to the retro game market, hopefully. Our objectives. First objective is to make a game that creates ripples in the marketplace. So, brings a bit of a twist to something that people are familiar with. Objective 2, build an audience, support our future work. So when we launch the next one, we'll be even more successful, hopefully. Objective 3, build a studio that everyone is happy to work in and is sustainable.
So, the high concept of the game. So, this is what Kyle will go into more depth in a moment about, but it is. The once mighty land of Aurelia has been thrown into disarray by a group of ravaging bandits throughout the realm. Can our protagonists muster up the ability to defeat the Bandit King Bosca's chiefs scattered across the land and reclaim the surrounding towns? Only then will he be able to put the tyranny to an end. So pretty much, as it says there, the goal of the game is to progress through the different regions, defeating said chiefs. So there will be one held up in each stronghold, so there'll be 4 in total. Once you've beaten all them, you can progress through to the final boss, which will be located in the back of the forest region in his castle, which, as we say, is Bosco. So, yes. The setting for the game is going to be medieval era, so we're taking inspiration from things such as Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. This will give it an old-style feel, but we're going to have it with some fantasy vibes, incorporating magic, potions, strange creatures, and whatnot.
So the core gameplay will be, as we said, a top-down action-adventure RPG that will have the player travelling across Aurelia fighting fierce foes. The player will have to learn to use every turn effectively whilst battling their way through epic turn-based battles. Vengeance is a top priority for the player as their hometown was destroyed by the Bandit King, Bosco. Throughout their adventure, they will plunder mystical dungeons and be rewarded with superior armour, weapons, magic spells, items, and new companions. Companions will aid the player in combat, rebuilding the hometown, so things that you can do in the town, and stopping Bosco, the final boss.
Okay, so as we've already said, the target audience is going to be for 30-ish males that will have a nostalgic feel towards the game. Also, we're going to go for publishing, as we said, on itch, Android, and Steam eventually, with a potential selling of £2.99 per game. So that is the pitch. There are some concept images here, as everyone can see, and we're going to move on to the GDD now, Kyle, if you'd like to.
Okay.
So, I'm going to move this way.
Thank you. Okay, so GDD has got all the design concepts that we're up to. No, it hasn't. So here we've got some inspirations mentioned already. We've reflected upon a lot of games due to research and combined them all into the chosen title yet to be named. I think currently be under Project Aurelia until the game has an actual name itself. So core gameplay, it's action adventure, it's not RPG, needs to be changed, but there are some really old Pokemon style classics in Zelda, as we've already mentioned in the pitch, release of platforms, the main goal. We've not jumped straight into the story. So opens up into a cutscene introducing the land itself, with its history towards the current time period. So it sets a thematic setting already. There'll be a summary following in a minute to display what the setting is. Each region is under control by the bandits under Bosca, the bandit king as mentioned. 4 of his bandit chiefs will be in control of each individual region, posted at their own strongholds. You start as the main character. Out of 2, before giving it a gender neutral option, so between the 2 you've got Gargan, the Purarian, or Aurora, the fierce elf fighter. So the location's at Sharpton, which is located in the Plains region of Urscadel. Just get the map up again. So we've got Plains region here, and the town of Sharpton will be near the centre here, I believe, so that's the right one. So basically the village is in the ashes, there's nothing left apart from a couple of survivors to give a warning as to if those that oppose the current people in control. I've set the first bandit chief as Jorah Razortooth, so he's got an upcoming name. All the bandits have been listed now. So first quest involves hunting down that bandit chief to free the region of its community.
Our concept.
Hopefully got a bunch of sound. We got Jordan on sound and music. We got Heidi, pixel artist, environment, and visual effects. We got Tom doing the UI equipment, tools and weaponry, and then we have Matt doing the animation. So initially, week 1, we came up with a logo that I was quite proud of, but we took it to a focus group, and apparently it was just too much. So. We limited it and we decided to go to play around with letters of LTS. And so Heidi worked really well to basically do that in a sprite. This is just what she was doing through the concept, and this is how it turned out. So that's the logo we have now. Moving on to my sound effects. So over the weekend I composed around about 75 sound effects. I can't show them here, but they'll be on Hack and Plan. I just need to compress them. Each one is about 4 kilobytes. I need to compress it down further, obviously. But within each folder of that, you have then 3 variations. Like I said, it's just on Hack and Plan, so feel free to browse through that. Jordan is unfortunately ill, but he's been working on a lot of musical tracks, so like Dungeon, Environment, Cities. You can hear some in the Discord chat, which is it's pretty interesting. It's got like Dungeon vibes and stuff, especially one track. Heidi has been working on the environment, so tile sets and all this, using a sprite just to do that. Everything's grayscale as well, because I believe Jonathan has made a tool that changes the colour in Unity, so that's taken into account. But all those tile sets together, I believe I have an image, which Sam, lovely, post for us. Yeah, so these tile sets in action, still grayscale, but you can see the tall grass, the pathways, and everything. Hopefully, in a minute you'll see the proof concept again, and it should be right. Moving on is the UI. So this is Tom's area of expertise. So this is dialog box, very minimal. Which is great, which we're looking for. We got some combat UI sprites here, so like health and stuff like that, which is great. We also have the overlay for the game broken up into individual parts, so we can for compression and stuff like that. We have quick time events with our concepts, which is great. That's concept 2. This is the overlay. This is concept 1, so this is kind of what we're going for. However, this is going to be the screen for the game, but it's going to be wider. But we haven't gotten around to that, but yeah. But you can picture it basically that. And you thought that was quite funny. Okay. Moving on. This is, yeah, more equipment, more tools, which will be in game for shops and things. This was finally Matt's animation. So each sprite is around about 200 bytes, so he's managed to compress them really well. With the protagonist, we have the monsters. I believe he collaborated with Mitchell for the designs of them. So I believe as well the protagonist animation actually is up and running. So it's great. And yeah, and we're still updating this as needed, but at the moment, feel free to browse and everything's on Discord and I can plan to.
Okay, so we're going to quickly just fly through the concept. This is going to take very short. Okay, it's not missing good stuff. So this is only half of the map because Ed and I have split it up. So I'm doing the snow region, he's doing the plains. Then there would have been Alex on forest, but God knows where Alex is. And then the desert biome is going to be split by Ed and myself, but we haven't got around to that yet because they're quite lengthy. But this is just a quick overview to show what will be happening in each area and how they will progress. So as Kyle said before, the maps, you have to get down to the stronghold to complete that area. So it is very free roaming. You can go between all the cities and towns and wilderness at will, really. And then as long as the dungeon is done last, you'll be fine. So here's the overview of the snow map that I drew that took me far too long. And this is just me breaking down the different sections. So how the first town would be, what you'd be expecting to see in the town sort of thing. So you can see kind of like a little thing at the top where quests inside the houses, bandits, NPCs, buildings that you can't go in, and whatnot. So I've done this for each of the regions. At the moment, I haven't managed to do inside the dungeons yet. It's just the outside tile because obviously you go inside. But yes, Ed's also done all this for the plains biome as well. We've got a bit of an asset list here of stuff that we're going to roughly need. Definitely, probably going to be more, but this is just the base. Also, here is Ed's. It is literally same layout, same flow. It just kind of explains how his area will run out in his sections. So as you can see, his is the plains. And we just have all of the areas once again. So, as I said, nice and quick. It's very boring. You can read it if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it though. So we're going to move on to the fun part, which is going to be we've all been working on, and hopefully this works because apparently the one version of the bus, so we have to open the other. Jonathan, do you want to come up and explain what's happening?
Yeah, you can try.
So first we've got our start menu just for the sake of like showing it, so hit start. So you've got the player, then you have a CRT filter on the screen that kind of makes it look like a console. Most of the tiles are implemented. This is the snow biome, so it's obviously is default white. I haven't used the color filter at all. But if you go to the plains here, use the green. And you've got an item, which I think if you can enter, yeah, and if you hit space, you open the inventory, so you can look at the item, you can see what it is and what it is. That's just pretty much just what we don't need for the time being, just so it actually works and you can drop them. There currently isn't any kind of AI interaction with environment yet, we haven't got that working because of some problems. But now we're here in this desert area, if you hit, yeah. So it's actually a boulder puzzle, boulder goes over the pressure plate and it enters this gate. It opens up. Go towards the enemy and it will have nice little flex to go into the combat. So you're fighting an enemy, could have been easy, could have been easy kill in this case, and then you're down. And you go up to the last little bit, which is up. Forest. Yeah, go to the first house, not the one left again.
Okay.
Yeah. And this the dog. So you get out of my house. So you leave the house, you go to the other house. Bobbed in. Oh, he wants to tell the neighbour Bob the code. So let's go to Bob again, who's in the other house.
You know you want the Romeo and Juliet.
Is it A?
Is he in it?
This is it, yes. Get to that, I think that's him. Yeah, it's about 6 stages. Arguing letters constantly back to each other. But it's a quest for you. You go through, and eventually you'll get to the point where you can't say the same button twice. So if you go to him again, it's like, boy, go to the letter in first. So Bob again. This is the idea of how quests work. You just go between points and you'll show the text. It would eventually text like fade out in the menu for it, but for the sake of showing it, we just put text in the corner. So I think we're almost there. Just need one more pass and we get to the end of it. Bob again. Yeah, after this one, it's the last one. Lots and two of them. There you go. 30 minutes. Alas. It's complete, finished. Yay! And you can also notice a few things with the roofs of the houses. They've got the black missing from it, so it's actually got a bit of the transparency to it as well. And the colour's got a few problems, but still, it is working reliably now. Okay, that's most of it.
And that is the front concept.
Yeah.
J'ai fini. Thank you very much, everyone, for paying
Solid.
attention for the last 5 minutes. So, yeah, that is the presentation finished. Hope everyone is a bit more informed about what is actually happening in the game now. And we actually have something kind of technically playable, which is quite nice to see that our hard work is kind of coming together finally. So, yes, well done, everyone. Congratulations. And with that, we can turn the lights on and we are done.
Yay. Applause.